I found this here cannon.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome to Adventures by D.
Welcome in.
I'm Kris.
And I'm Dave.
And we're here to talk all things Six Flags and Six Flags Over Georgia, our home park.
That's right. Thanks for joining. Adventures by D here, Dave and Kris. And this is our normal Thursday night at 8 p.m. stream. So thanks for joining. We're going to talk about Six Flags and, some recommendations from our frequent visits. It's our home park. We live in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and that's where Six Flags is located here in the suburban area. So we're excited about tonight's stream.
We are very excited, and we go often. And for you guys that have joined us live, thank you for joining. And for you guys watching on the replay, hello and welcome.
Yeah, we're a family-friendly vlogging channel. Easy for me to say. We do theme parks and other adventures here in Georgia and Tennessee. Of course, we go to Disney and Universal, and then Dollywood, as we've recently been, and Six Flags, and some other theme parks too. So we're excited, have some big summer plans, and excited to get out there like a lot of other people and hopefully travel safely.
Hi, Car Key. And we saw in the chat Francisco was here, and so was Arthur. And Arthur, if you're still here, we wanted to say hi. And I wanted to call out, we've seen in a few of our Six Flags videos that you've done, you've requested some rides. And so Dave and Madison at opening day did Pandemonium just for you because you had requested it. So he, the first time on Pandemonium for you, right?
Yeah, I got my Pandemonium credit, and it was pretty scary as I try to remember or try to forget one or the other. And for those that don't know, it's a swinging ride that kind of goes in a circle. It's like a pendulum, and the folks sit at, it's like a wheel basically, and it just goes back and forth, and it's a lot scarier than what I just said. But we'll share some video here of our Six Flags adventures here in a little bit.
And Arthur, can I ask you, have you ridden Pandemonium yourself? I'm curious if you can let us know.
Yeah. So we've been going to Six Flags now a long time. I had nephews here that lived in the area a while ago, and I used to go in the 90s. And then recently with our own kids, which you've seen in the vlogs, we've gone quite a lot over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So last year, check out our Six Flags playlist. We'll put the link in the comments here in just a second. Actually, it's in the description of the video already. When we go to all the major events, opening day, usually during the spring break, during the summer, and either last year's HoloFest, normally it's Fright Fest, and then holiday in the park around the holiday season, which we really enjoy.
Yeah, it's fun, and it's probably one of Madison's favorite things to do in Atlanta. She's always wanting to go to Six Flags and ride the coasters. And I see, Arthur, you're saying you haven't ridden it. Well, once you go back, you should try it. And I'd say I want to challenge Dave and Madison to do it at night because it's really lit up, really cool LEDs on the outside of the ride. Going down is probably one of the most photographic things in the evening at Six Flags, aside from probably the Joker Super Loop. What is that one called?
Because the Joker.
The Joker ride, which is like a Super Loop from back in the day at the fairs. But that one's lit really nicely too.
Yeah, I mean, the park looks really good during the day and during the night. I guess we should start with opening day here. So we went on opening day, and they had some new food, and they didn't have any new rides. Of course, Mindbender is a multi-looping coaster, and it's in the Gotham City area, if you will. It's
going to be Riddler themed.
Yes, it's going to be Riddler themed. They've redone the track, and when we were out there for opening day, it's not quite finished yet. But I was on Six Flags over Georgia's website today, and they say it's going to be open in the spring. So I would say anytime now for Mindbender, which is exciting because it's one of the better roller coasters in the park. And I will say Six Flags has a lot of good roller coasters.
They were still painting a section of the track, if I remember. It was pretty cool last year at Six Flags. When you walk up Six Flags over Georgia, you can see a lot of the coasters in the parking lot, and that one you could see they had sections of track that were removed and they were rebuilding the ride. So I don't know if it's on the same exact footprint or the same exact path and it's just smoother now or what, but you go upside down and it's just a lap bar restraint. So I'm wondering if they changed that, but that was one of the first coasters I took Madison on. She conned me into it, and then it looked great until you got in the line in the back, and then you start seeing and then it goes upside down. And I was like, oh my God. So, which is that one's a tame one compared to a lot of the coasters at Six Flags, but it's fun.
Yeah, Goliath's in the middle of the park, and it's probably their signature roller coaster right now. They built it a few years ago. It's one of the Giga coasters, I'll say, the steel, and it's pretty exciting and thrilling. It's a really good roller coaster. It's really high up there, and it's big drops. And it goes out. One of the unique things about Six Flags over Georgia, if you've never been, hopefully you've seen from our videos, Goliath actually extends into the kind of the entry plaza. So as you pull past the ticket gate and head to parking, you actually go under Goliath. One of the few parks I know where the ride actually comes out past the entrance. And so Goliath kind of runs over your head as you pull in.
It does. It's pretty cool. That and the Georgia Scorcher. And then you see some of Batman and you see the Mindbender all in the parking lot. So it definitely showcases the roller coasters in the park. There's several of them, definitely.
So when we went out opening day a couple of weeks ago, it was pretty cool. I think that kept some of the crowds down. Of course, we went out early.
Oh, you mean it was pretty cool, like temperature-wise, not pretty cool, like we had a good time?
We had a good time
too.
Pretty cool both ways, yeah. But it was nice and cool, which during the summer we'll be looking for that weather. But anyway, the crowds were down, and we got to pretty much ride whatever we wanted to that day.
It was fun. And when we went in, the front of the park was busier, so we headed to the back. Dave and Madison went straight to DWG Adventures, Rhonda. You guys were trying to go straight to Pandemonium to get on it early, but it hadn't opened yet. And so you headed towards the back, and Dean and I went straight to the Justice League, which is in the back of the park. That's a great shooter ride. And then you rode Superman also, right? A tip for Six Flags, it depends what you want to do. There's a lot of roller coasters in the front of the park, but if when it opens you go to the back, you're going to be able to almost ride anything with no wait. But then the downside is you are going to end up waiting when you're in the front, like when you come back to the front. But it's a good time.
Madison and I have actually done a rope drop there at Six Flags during the summer, and we've pretty much gone directly, like Kris said, back to Justice League. And there's nobody back there at rope drop. So you can ride Justice League, Superman. In fact, we beat the workers to Justice League. It was open and nobody was operating the ride yet. So that's how early we got back there.
And there's the Great American Scream Machine back there, their wooden roller coaster. Yeah, there's several things back there. The Ninja.
It's a Blue Hawk now.
Sorry,
it used to be the Ninja. Yeah, that's a nice steel double looping roller coaster. Also, Hurricane Harbor's back there, the water park, which is pretty cool. The water park doesn't open until Memorial Day weekend, so can't get in there now. But we've been to the water park a couple times, including July 4th weekend. It was uber crowded. I wouldn't go back July 4th unless you enjoy it.
It has a big wave pool, a huge wave pool in there, and then a couple different slides, which is pretty cool considering it's inside the theme park. So that's pretty cool. I don't know, DWG Adventures, if you have, I'm sure you've gone to Six Flags, but when the last time you visited the park, it's pretty cool seeing it over the years. They've, I don't know if remodeled is the right word, but they've painted a lot and cleaned up the park in some ways that several years ago when I went, it wasn't as clean as it is today. I think they're doing a lot with it. And then with the new food that they're offering, they're really trying in mobile ordering. So it's fun, and it's fun for families to go. I know we'll cover that in a few minutes with Six Flags.
Yeah. Welcome in. If you just joined us, we're talking Six Flags over Georgia tonight. We're Adventures by D. I'm Dave, and that's my lovely and talented wife, Kris.
Yes. You went for orientation when you were going to work there back in the late 80s. So did you actually work there, Rhonda? Or did you just go for orientation and decide not to work there? Did you?
So let's bring up a little video of Six Flags opening day. We do have this video up on a YouTube channel, but let's look at it here. Let me bring it up.
I like that, Rhonda, what you're saying. I remember the days when minimum wage was $3.25 or $3.35 an hour. Definitely.
I don't think there's no audio on it, so we're just going to talk over.
Okay.
So give me 1 second while I bring up you can see us and the screen, which would be an awful. And let me take off the other thing here. So this is the bakery up front. We never gotten a treat from there until opening day, and it was really good. Recommend the bakery right as you go in the front door to the right. Candy Coaster, maybe? I forget the full name. But we had a double cookie with cake frosting in the middle. It was really good. Yes,
it was. I think we'd walk by, but never gotten a treat in there like you would. You think at Disney or Universal that you might get treats, but it was really good. I was really surprised, like how good it was. Definitely, and they have apples. I love candied and caramel apples, so I'm gonna love that. When we go back next time, we'll try it. And it was really reasonable. So the cookie might have been $6 that we got, but it was huge. Like the four of us split the cookie, no joke. So it was very, very reasonable, I'd say. And I think the apples were 2 for $8 or something on the sign. So for a theme park, that's pretty reasonable pricing. That's Superman that we're showing there in the back of the park. That's so cool because you fly. And if you go there in the evening, they hit it with spotlights to different parts of the track. So it's really neat in the back there. And it's always never very crowded back there. It's a huge wide open area where you can stand. And then the Justice League is near that. And if you go past it the other way, you're going towards Hurricane Harbor or their in-park water park. So it's all kind of right there. And they have carnival games there and stuff like that in that area of the park. But you have to go all the way to the back of the park to hit it. And one thing about Six Flags, it's not totally flat. So it's kind of built into some hills, maybe a little bit like Dollywood, how Dollywood has some, because it's built into the terrain, that there are some inclines you have to walk up or walk down with it. It's pretty. I mean, there's a lot of areas, a lot of trees.
Yeah, particularly if you're going to the back of the carousel, which the carousel in our park here is a hidden gem. It's turn of the century from Chicago. I don't think a lot of people know the history of the carousel, but if you take time and research it, and Kris has a video where she did that and the Hanson cars, which we'll talk about in a second. Carousel is on a bit of a hill towards the back of the park, but it's well worth riding. Put it that way.
And one thing about Six Flags, like if you're going with families, is they have a ton of kids rides. So, and when I say kids rides, I'm talking probably elementary school age, not that much for little kids. They used to have a Thomas and Friends park that was for the little ones, but that has since turned into a go-kart park, and Pandemonium too. They kind of took that area. But there's a ton of rides for kids. There's a kids roller coaster. There's a carousel. There's an up and away, which is like a hot air balloon thing. There is a tugboat. There's some Hanson cars that you drive on a track. They have the Wonder Woman flyers. They have a little drop tower. There's some helicopter thing. I mean, there's at least 8 to 10 rides for little kids. And I remember when the kids were young, I wouldn't have thought to go to an amusement park thinking they couldn't ride much. But like here we are, this is part of the kids area where there's a number of things that the kids can do. And then up the hill is even more with it. So it's pretty cool. I have to say they cover a lot. And that is a water flume ride that has not been in operation for a while. So I don't know what's happening with that one.
There's a carousel. You see how fast I'm walking up the hill?
Yeah, look at that. And that's that up and away ride there, the little hot air balloons. But and then the Justice League kids could do that too. So there's quite a bit. And like I'm not really a coaster person. I know it's like, oh no, like these guys are coaster people, but I have a good time here. And when you go for the holidays for Six Flags, it's a lot of fun. Like especially their Halloween event. It's fun. There's different scare zones and there's haunted houses. Like you have to pay extra to go in the haunted houses. But if you didn't, Ron is this fast walker, yes. But if you didn't want to go in the haunted houses, you don't have to. You could just go in the park and do the rides. So I think it's cool. All their rides run during their events. And my favorite thing is the Holiday in the Park, which is their Christmas. They have beautiful lights and they have some shows and they just have really pretty scenes. It's probably one of the best things they do. Even last year with Restricted, it was actually even better because they had more shows outside and all different stages and stuff. So they do the holidays really well, which I wouldn't have thought that they did. And look, this is the food here.
You want me to reshare it?
Oh, you stopped sharing it?
I did.
It's up to you. It's still still playing there. We're talking about
So they had new food this year. They had 5 or 6 options, some burgers, a hot chicken sandwich, some new nachos. And this is, we decided to try those out because if you watch my What I Want to See from Six Flags video from 6 weeks ago, trying to predict what I would like to see this year at Six Flags, first thing was a better food experience. So they did give us options. So we decided on opening day to try them. And of course, with 4 people, it's a little easier to try the different options. This is Dean's. I think he got some type of.
We all shared that.
Those are like the mini
nachos.
chicken tacos.
Yeah, we tried. So we had an adventure because Six Flags is really pushing mobile ordering, kind of like Disney and Universal's rolled it out. And so some parks are better than others. And you had mobile ordered last year at Halloween, right? So we've done it once or twice, but this time, like the goal was, let's mobile order, let's really try it, and let's try food from different places to try the different foods. And so Dean and I went around and we're getting foods while you and Madison were riding some rides. But it ended up, I did a video just on the mobile order, and it ended up being somewhat of a fail for me. Like, we did get food, and you can see we did get food, but I went through pre-ordering, so in all the locations, the different food, thinking like Disney, you could kind of pre-order, and then when you're there, click I'm here and pick it up. So I pre-ordered all these things and paid, and then went to go pick it up. First place, it was ready, great. And then go to the next place to pick it up, and there was no button to say ready, that I was there. And so it was a fail. I had to end up canceling orders left and right. With it. So they have to fix some stuff with their app. Their app did have Apple Pay, which was pretty cool because I have an iPhone and I was able, instead of putting in a separate credit card. But we did get food. I mean, we're not going to starve. But it didn't work 100% great. So I wanted to test it just to share with people, the options with it. So
I have a question for chat, and then we'll go back to the Six Flags video here. What do you all look for when you watch folks' vlogs? Are you looking for the rides? Are you looking for the food? Are you looking for other things in the park that you want to hear about? Looking for crowd levels, wait times? I'm interested in that because I watch a lot of vloggers myself, and always interested to see and hear what you all want to see in a vlog. What's interesting to you all? Like I said, what pieces of the park or what part of the experience is most interesting to you when you watch a vlog? And some vloggers go into opening day. What is it that you're hoping that they cover? Go ahead and put that into chat while we're talking, and then maybe I can talk about some of the answers.
And Francisco, if you could share, when are you going to A Touch of Disney? Because it is April now, and I know you're going in April, so it's got to be really, really soon. So I'm really excited to hear when you're going, because that's big news for you. Talk about eating and food and mobile ordering. You're going to be doing that at Touch of Disney, and thankfully it works probably a little better than Six Flags did. They've been at it for a while.
So Rhonda says she wants to know the social aspect, food, culture. She's not a ride person either, and she likes the history and the little known things too. That's cool. So we do try to cover with a purpose on these vlogs. They get a whole wide gamut. I will ride the rides with Madison. Madison's a big ride person. I will ride the roller coasters with her, but we try to do the food as well. And then anything else that might be new. If you'd like to see more history, we can do that. Kris has done one history vlog so far on the parks, on Six Flags itself. But we do try to cover a pretty good gamut when we go to the park, whether across all the different facets of the experience in the park that day.
Rhonda says she likes to watch Carol instigate the chat. It's so funny. The boats. No. Arthur's asking if the boats are still open. I don't think so. Is that something you drove, like for fun, like you did the boats, Arthur? Because I don't think so. And it's interesting, Six Flags, speaking of that, they have like go-karts, but you have to pay. So it's an extra charge. I've stared at them. It's near Pandemonium, and we've never paid, and I don't ever see anybody paying. Do you? Anybody ever driving?
I've seen a few people on the go-karts. You have to pay, and then the giant pendulum back by the Great America Scream Machine. That's also something you have to pay for.
The slingshot.
It's a slingshot, like a giant slingshot.
Yeah, but I kind of get paying for that one, but the go-kart one. And I remember when I went to Six Flags for the first time, probably around 2000 or a little bit before, they had laser tag in there. And I was with a friend and her aunt, and we did laser tag. We did it, and it was actually kind of fun. We paid for it, but that's long since gone. But that was actually an upcharge too, and I enjoyed it, believe it or not, in Six Flags. It was there near Twisted Cyclone, I feel like, somewhere over there. I don't know what went in its place. I don't know if it's Johnny Rockets or I don't know. So
I want to give a shout out real quick, and we'll get back to the Six Flags content. I forgot last two weeks ago, our last stream, to give a shout out to Dean at the Live Place. So Dean was nice enough to list us with a lot of other great content creators there at theliveplace.com. So recommend checking that out for all your family-friendly live stream options, including Adventures by Dee. But thanks to Dean and the Live Place for getting us listed there. I appreciate it. And we've got their link is in the description below. And maybe Carol can be nice enough to put it in our comments section. But check out the Live Place.
And it's really nice. If you go there, you can see all different types of people and different streams. It tends to be theme park centric. I mean, it's not 100%. And so, for example, like ours is Six Flags. A lot of the stuff is Disney today, but it's interesting. And like Monarch Moments is on there and different people. So he's really, really nice. Yeah. It's cool that he does that.
Cool. Let's see here. Where do we leave Six Flags off? Do we want to talk about the holiday events, either one, or?
We can. I saw Rhonda, she mentioned like she remembered going to the haunted houses like one time and the Halloween event. So it's so funny. So for years I heard about their Halloween event and I didn't go. And some of it you heard it was a little bit rough, right? Like years ago that it was rough that, people were, the clientele, maybe there might've been more police and police activity there. And then I don't feel like that's the case at Six Flags anymore. I don't know if you guys have heard, have any thoughts on the history of it, but we went, was it 2 years ago with Madison? So we took Madison. Dean wasn't interested in going, so he stayed here. And we had a great time. They have different houses. Are they the caliber of Halloween Horror Nights? No, they're not. I mean, they're just not, but they're good for what they are. You pay, I feel like we paid $20 a person to go in the houses.
Let's bring up the HallowFest stream. That way they can see it while we talk. Let's see here. I'll let you do that piece.
Okay.
You have to bring it up from YouTube.
Okay, I can do that.
So give us a second. We're going to bring up the HallowFest. Normally, I'll talk while she's bringing that up. Normally, they do Fright Fest, which is the Halloween extravaganza at Six Flags. This year it was HallowFest just because they didn't have the haunted houses, but they did have some really cool scare zones. Really scary stuff and entertaining. Nothing inside, but some really good scare zones with different themed people, clowns, scary clowns, scary people walking around with what was it? Cannibal Cookout was one theme of a walkthrough, kind of a scare zone. So there was some really cool stuff going on there, and they did what they could during COVID, and I was appreciative they had it all. To be honest with you, and Kris is just about to bring it up here, and you can see for yourself.
Okay, let's see. Hold on.
Keep going down there. You're almost to there. Almost there. And
there's your food challenge.
Let's just do that one. Yeah, we're bringing it up now. Thanks for your patience. So this is going to be HallowFest and our vlog from Six Flags HallowFest. And I will say I'm so looking forward to Halloween this year and the events. Just so hopefully we can get back to a little bit of normalcy, knock on wood here, and have a bunch of haunted houses. And so now she's got it up here. Oh, Rhonda mentioned Netherworld. I saw Netherworld announce the 80s house this morning on Instagram. That is all me. Love the 80s. I'm a child of the 80s. And to have a Netherworld house, I am so looking forward to that.
For those of you that don't know, Netherworld is this like state-of-the-art haunted house in Atlanta, and it's rated one of the top haunts in the nation, and it just so happens to be in the Atlanta area, and Stone Mountain technically is where it's located now. They kind of moved their location, and I love Halloween and Halloween Horror Nights, but I'm a chicken. Like I am a chick. Like I come through and I hold Dave's shirt and if her nephew goes with us to Halloween Horror Nights, I'm hiding, and I love it. I can't stay away. And we did Netherworld for Valentine's Day 2 years ago. They had a what's called a scream in the dark, but you walked with one LED candle in your hand and you walked in the pitch black in their haunted house. And then we went this past year. It is so fun. It's unbelievable. Like the haunted house is 15, 20 minutes long to walk through one of them, and they have two. So it's just, and if there were more people in there, like we were spaced, it probably would have taken 30 minutes or more to get through a house. It's so amazing. And the 80s house is they're going to do an 80s themed Halloween house, right? Haunt?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So it is, Netherworld's amazing. We love it there. Like it's truly next level. It's kind of taking like 3 or 4 of the haunted houses from Halloween Horror Nights at Universal and putting them in one. They have these huge moving, I don't even know if animatronics is the right word, but these things they move that are like stories high and creatures that come out at you and all sorts of stuff. It's amazing. We're showing Six Flags. This is Six Flags last year. And so they did all these protocols, like here's a clown scaring you. He's behind plastic, like it was pretty cool. And it was really effective how they did it. And so this past year, they didn't have the haunted houses open, but they might this year. But I don't know if I really felt like I was missing anything without them, because they still did a pretty good job there. And it was the same one price to get in versus haunted houses. I would say next time we go, if there are haunted houses available, when we did it 2 years ago, so you buy a ticket. So it's an extra $20 when you're in the park to buy to go in the haunted houses. And I just bought a regular ticket. And I feel like for $30, you could get kind of like their fast pass. And when we go back again, I'm just going to pay it, because we waited forever in lines. We maybe did 2 or 3 haunted houses. There might have been 6. And there was no hope in that evening of us getting through any more. The lines were so long. So I would definitely pay for their, I guess, express in the future.
This is how much we like Halloween. It's Halloween in April here.
Yes.
Like if you
seriously, Spirit Halloween already sent an email, and I was like, oh yeah, they send it all the time. This guy was amazing. He was amazing. Oh my goodness.
He scared me.
Man.
He's a big dude.
He was huge. I mean, to give you perspective, like I'm 5'9" and Dave is 6'2". Okay, so we're not little people, and this guy had to be at least 6'4", 6'5". He was huge because he like towered over me. So
I'll give it to Six Flags. They came up with some entertaining, scary stuff while keeping it outside. So they kind of had to retool that thing on the fly a little bit due to COVID. And I think they did a really good job. Personally, I enjoyed it. Even with, like Kris, without the houses, they had enough scare zones and put enough effort into the scare zones. It was still pretty darn scary.
I mean, look at this. It's an amusement, a theme park, and they put some lighting and they have some stuff in there and like the fog. I mean, that's pretty effective, right? You didn't even have to hear the sound, and you could hear the kids. You can hear how scared they are, and somebody jumps out at you and that sort of stuff. So, I mean, I appreciate it when they do stuff like this because they don't have to.
Right.
Yeah. Look at that. Like he's sawing off a leg. It was very effective with the lighting. Like it looks so real. Madison believed half of it was real, right? Even though she knows it's not. So it's a lot of fun.
So let me stop sharing that. So Kris, what would you say are pro tips if you're going to come and visit Six Flags over Georgia?
Pro tips.
Yes.
Well, you have to buy your ticket online and you have to make a reservation right now. It used to be last year you had to reserve a time, but now it's just a day, right?
Yeah, just a day. Yeah.
Just a day. So you can get in whenever they open or close. So you buy online. I would even, and then they have like friends. If you have a season pass or stuff, let me back up. If you're going to come often enough, I would at least get their season pass if you're in Atlanta, because you get parking for free. So worth it for that to go in and not pay parking. If you're going to go probably twice in a year, I think it pays for itself with the ticket because the season pass isn't too bad. We buy the season pass usually around the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas tends to be. Francisco, you're going on April 19th. All right, to Touch of Disney. That's awesome. Maybe they'll give you some food for free since it's the last day, right? When they're cleaning out everything. They could be like, here, take these goods that are going to be for sale, right? That's awesome.
What are other pro tips?
Pro tips. What would I say?
When would you go?
I would go when they open. I would go at opening, whatever that is. Although it seems like a lot of people do go at opening. I would go then. I would stay away on major holidays if you can. Like they've been around July 4th or on July 4th weekend. Holy cow. Like if you have to, because you're coming from out of town, that's great. I would even say, if you can, I would take 2 days to do Six Flags Over Georgia. They really just sell 1-day park passes, but there's a lot of coasters. How many coasters do they have?
The major ones, 6 or 7 off the top of my head. Actually, more like 9, I believe.
Yeah, and then they have a bunch of other rides. So if you wanted to do everything, it would be tough in a day with the lines. Now they do have something called a flash pass that you can buy. So if you're going for 1 day and it's going to be a busy day, I would, like, not the middle of the week, but you're going on a weekend, and maybe worth investing in the flash pass because it moves you up in the line. It's not the cheapest pass. You did it one time with Madison.
Yeah, I forget the exact cost, but it's not the cheapest pass. And I'm going to say most of the days you don't need the flash pass unless Goliath.
Probably.
Weekends, maybe. Holiday weekends, that's a different story. Probably can take advantage of the flash pass. But if you're going during the week in the summer, probably don't need it. Spring break, I don't know. I'm planning on being out there this week with Madison, so we'll see what the crowd's like. Maybe this weekend or this week with my daughter, since here it's spring break in the Atlanta area for some schools.
Six Flags right now is only open on weekends except for spring break. It's not till the summer that they'll start opening weekdays.
Hey, Jonathan, welcome in.
Welcome in. What are some of my other tips? We have what you have.
Oh, yes.
If you were actually drinking out of it, if you go like more than twice, you need to invest in one of their drink things so you can get refills for free. There's some you could buy for the day, but we get these and you use them for the entire season. And it turns out the ones we got last year are still good this year. So, and if you have a membership, you actually get the drinks as a part of the membership, which is like a monthly fee. But I think that's worth it too, to be able to get the drinks.
Just for the Powerade in the summer, to
yeah, it is
Rhonda's point. It does get really hot here in Georgia in the summer. Really hot.
It gets hot. And so you can take advantage of the Hurricane Harbor in the back and do the wave pool and all of that. That's a lot of fun. But when you do it, so we've done it, but then like you wear your bathing suit in with your clothes over it, and then you're going to go in the bathroom and change afterwards, and you're dragging the towels and the flip-flops and all sorts of stuff. And it's like we're bringing like 2 sets of clothes, and it's not the easiest to do that. Now, we've seen families and they're just pull stuff on, but if I'm going to stay at the theme park all day and go to the water park, I got to change out of the bathing suit. Like I have to. And they don't let you walk around the theme park without having clothes on. You can't just walk around in your bathing suit around the theme park. So, and then of course, you have to have they don't provide towels. So you have to have towels and sunscreen and all these things. So there's like extra things to consider for sure if you're going to do the water park with it.
Definitely these days, Rhonda, absolutely extra mask in the summertime.
We have a whole bag. So if we have to switch them out, we do. Do you have any like top tips for Six Flags?
Pro tips. For the roller coaster that require lockers, you want to use the lockers. Don't keep your phone in your pocket for the big coasters because it'll fall out and you'll lose your phone, or when you find it, it'll be cracked.
Don't they check you on some of them, or do they not? They're supposed to.
They're supposed to, but like Goliath and the mega coasters, they have lockers. Now they also have cubby holes on many of the roller coasters, which just little lockers without doors basically at the ride. But, I wouldn't leave my phone, let alone my wallet and keys in those cubby holes. I would rent the lockers, and the lockers are pretty convenient to most of the rides. They used to not have any at all between Catwoman, and Batman. They built lockers down there. So don't take the phone on the coasters. If it says leave it in a locker, I would just pay for the locker to do it. And then you get a locker that you can change at different locations, right? You have to pay for the locker. You have to pay for the locker.
Like at Universal, you get a locker close to the ride. And if it's a small one, you don't have to pay for it. They want you to put your stuff in. But if it's a large one, you do. Six Flags, you have to pay. And then you can pay once, you can transfer it around to the different lockers, right? One code for all of them.
Six Flags is like Dollywood. It's about $8 all day for a locker. You just transfer it around from ride to ride. So I don't think it's that much for the locker. I mean, I just wouldn't. Ron is right. If it falls out, you're lucky if you can have one of the park workers to go and get it. You can't go under the ride, obviously, in places you shouldn't be going because of safety.
And we've rented the bigger locker. Like if we go and we're going to go in the water part of the park, then I'm not carrying that junk around the whole day. So I'm putting it in a locker when I can, the towels and all the stuff in the bag for the family and the flip-flops and all sorts of stuff. So we've rented bigger lockers, and there's different ones strategically placed. So yeah, you guys lock all your stuff up. The other tip, this is a family tip. Six Flags over Georgia does not have great cell service. Like it's kind of stinky, especially towards the back of the park. There really isn't cell service. Like an example, this last trip for opening day, Dave and Madison went, Dean and I went, and then I was texting and trying to call him. He'd gone to one ride and then the other, and I had no idea where he was. And then when I look, find my iPhone sort of stuff, it showed him one place, but his phone actually ended up being in the locker. But in certain sections, he tried to text me and he couldn't get me. And the only reason I bring it up is when you have kids, and like sometimes I'll bring the kids and their friends, and they'll go and you'll let them go together in a certain area. You have to choose. That's the sort of park you have to go old school and say, meet me at this place at this time. Don't rely on the cell phone service to like reach your kid. And if you're concerned and you're trying to track your kids around the park, they're going to disappear on the cell. It's kind of freaky. So I wish somehow Six Flags with the cell carriers would improve that. And we'd actually wanted to go on opening day. We were going to stream. We had it kind of set up and we were going to test it live stream, but we spent most of the time in the back of the park where Superman and Justice League and all these things were, and there's no cell service back there. So there was like no way to stream there. I think you'd have to be towards the front.
Ron is right. They don't allow gimbals and they don't allow anything that looks like a gimbal.
They don't allow many things. So you have to be careful with what you're going to film with. Yeah, I was going to go live with my phone and I was going to stay stationary. I wasn't even going to walk around with it just to kind of show what's going on. Yeah, they're very restrictive on electronics. Now they do have a really cool, you walk through security now and they have a temperature check. You just walk through, nobody's touching you. But I noticed the last time and the time before, if you're carrying any type of bag, even if you don't set off the detector, they send you over to get checked. So I tend to carry the bag and the backpack, and I always get checked. It's the weirdest thing. And I noticed there were two women in front of me with purses, and suddenly they were sent. So I don't know, even though they have this security thing that you're walking through, I guess they're still searching certain bags, just so you guys know, so you can expect that.
We have Sprint / T-Mobile. This is T-Mobile.
We have had AT&T there too.
Yeah.
So both of those. And there's really no signal in half the park. It's one bar, maybe. So that's just a negative. That's just a tip if you're a parent, or if your kids go with friends and you're trying to see where they are during the day, don't totally panic. But you have to go back to, the 80s and the 90s, or when Six Flags opened in the 60s. You got to meet me at this ride at this time. That's what you have to do. So it's just a tip, parenting tip.
So let's take a break and say that we are going to have 2 live streams this month. The next one's on the 15th. So that's to be announced, but a special stream that we're going to talk about a special trip. I don't want to let cats out of the bag, but stay tuned. And then on the 29th is Star Wars night, and I am a huge Star Wars fan. So I'm going down the Manville and digging up some classic stuff from the 70s, and then my kids had no choice but to be Star Wars fans. So we're getting ready for May the 4th on April 29th at 8 p.m. So there could be some appearances by certain Star Wars characters or those that look like Star Wars characters. So get ready for that.
And when Dave says he's a huge fan, like he's celebrated May the 4th for years, like no joke. So he's always excited about it, like big time.
We do have a Star Wars playlist. We have Galaxy's Edge, Smuggler's Run, POVs. We have all kinds of things on the Star Wars playlist. So check that out on our channel. Everything Star Wars is in that playlist, whether it's from Disney or not.
How about May the 5th? Well, May the 6th. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that,
Actually,
Jonathan.
That's very funny. And that's meaningful to Dave. That's all I'll say on that one. He likes that character a lot.
If you search on our channel, you may find me as Darth Maul. I'm just saying it could be a future appearance, so stay tuned.
Yes. So, I mean, Dave's such a huge fan. When we've gone to all the Star Wars movie openings for years, like, he dresses up. And the last opening at AMC, they wouldn't let us in with how Dave was dressed. He had to remove part of his costume, just so you know. Like, it was crazy. So he's a huge fan.
All right. You want to just mention some of the recent vlogs we did that maybe aren't Six Flags related? We just got through going to Callaway Gardens, which is a really cool spot south of town here. They had a cool birds of prey show. They're really known for their azaleas. So if you check that video out, maybe we can bring up some of it on YouTube. You can see all kinds of azaleas. There was a birds of prey show with some hawks and some other great big birds flying around that were well trained. They even had a cute little mega bugs thing where they had these huge plastic bugs that were 50, 100 foot tall out kind of in the woods. It was interesting. We show you some of that, the zip lining. It's really a great outdoor place south of town that we can really, there's a lot of things to do there. That's our latest vlog that came out, I think, Wednesday this week. Kris is pulling it up now off YouTube.
Yeah, it's, it's funny. I don't know if you guys are aware, Rhonda, you're probably aware of Callaway Gardens. You've probably even been there. But I've been there 2 or 3 times now. We actually went for Christmas. They have this like 5-mile drive-through light up display through all their gardens. And they're about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of Atlanta. So they're not exactly in Atlanta. You have to drive to them, but they have a resort. We went in their resort and checked a bunch of stuff out. But there were so many people biking. They have these miles and miles of bike trails and running trails. And it was just so cool to see everybody outside. It was really busy when we went. Now, it's kind of their hallmark time besides Christmas because they're known for azaleas. And the Callaways, the husband and wife, they more or less rescued. There were some azaleas they found like on the 4th floor, and they rescued them from going extinct. And they've grown them all throughout their park. It was their property at the time, and now it's beautiful gardens. So it's very, very pretty there.
They're off 85, Rhonda, Pine Mountain, by FDR's park and the little White House down there, which is also another place we've been.
Yeah. And we're going to do another vlog on the White House sometime soon. That place is so cool because it's close to where, so FDR used to relax in Pine Mountain, Georgia at what's called the Little White House. And he actually passed away there. That's where he had died. He would go to warm springs and actually bathe, swim in the springs, which was thought to help with polio. So, and there's even a museum where you can see an iron lung and all sorts of stuff there. So it's pretty cool.
So there's no more compelling video than watching me eat chicken salad. Yeah. Let me just say that. Jonathan, they do have some awesome Christmas drive-through lights, and that's a video on our channel. It's called Fantasy and Lights. Check that out because that drive-through was amazing. We'd wanted to go forever, and we finally went this year. And they had an LED field the size of 2 football fields synced up with this huge tree that was 4 or 5, 10 stories tall. But it's towards the end of our Fantasy and Lights video. It's worth checking out. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It's one of those, because it's an hour and a half, 2-hour drive away. It's it's something you think about, like, do I want to go there? Do I not? And so last year we finally did it. I mean, it was perfect because you're in your car, and they do have a hotel there and other activities. So we'll see what happens this Christmas when we go again. But we really enjoyed it, and they're known for their azaleas. So to be able to go, we went this past weekend, and to be able to see at peak bloom or just before peak bloom, I mean, holy cow! And I'm going to see if I can. You're going to skip the giant bugs? I am. They have this bug thing, which is really cute for kids, like this huge bug thing. But I want to jump
They have a butterfly garden, but what we're really there for, I mean, right now, the azalea bowl. So just hold on a second. And
I went for the chicken salad.
it's like they have all these different azaleas, and some of them are like hybrid colors, and it was just so vibrant, and half were blooming, half not yet, but they're almost. It was just so pretty right here. And if you guys, I don't know if you know, in Atlanta, like pollen is like crazy in the spring here. It literally coats everything yellow. Like our deck right now looks like, and it rained all day yesterday, which is crazy, but it's just covered in yellow, your car and everything. And while we were there, I could see it like landing on the camera, on our phone, on the mic. And then there's this garden we saw, and like there was this layer of pollen all in the, like in this lake. It was pretty wild seeing it. So very, very, very pretty. Very pretty there.
There we are, fast walking again.
Yeah, I know. It's like we're such fast walkers. Yeah, the salmon colored ones are so pretty. They had like a whole section of them here, and then they had some red ones that were popping, but you can kind of see here in the woods, so many more were going to bloom. It was really, really, really pretty.
Yeah, and just by the way, for those watching, we do film in 4K. So if you're watching on your PC, your TV, your phone, whatever, make sure on YouTube you've got it turned up, the resolution. If you have something that plays 4K, I would definitely take advantage of it, because we can see YouTube on one of our TVs here. And if I'm definitely watching something that I'm interested in with a bunch of color, 4K really makes it pop. So make sure to turn up that resolution if you want to on our videos. We almost always shoot in 4K.
Yeah. And I got Rhonda saying she gets her car washed almost every day this time of year. I mean, it's crazy, the pollen and how much it coats things. So it was a beautiful area. It was, and we didn't even, there's like all these biking trails and running trails, and we didn't bring our bikes, but you could rent bikes there too. And we did not take advantage of that this time. We'll have to do it another time. But I was really impressed with it, the area. And we kind of did like, how would somebody go through this? Because you're not quite sure where to go. The site doesn't necessarily lead you on like what you should do. So we kind of just went around, and you can see some of the pollen and some of that, the leaves there. But so we just kind of experienced it as anybody would. It was very pretty.
And even if you didn't like flowers, there's a lot of other stuff to do. Like I said, the mega bugs. We didn't even show there's a beach there, a huge man-made beach that hopefully we make it to check out this summer. We've never been to the beach there.
People were in the water. It was like March, and now it was 80 degrees there. It was warm. And today it's like 50 degrees or 40 degrees. It is crazy. It was hot there. And then like, we had a front come through and change the weather, but we were like, oh my God, it's March. And I would have never even thought to bring my swimsuit, and families were going down there, and they were like swimming, and they were on the beach. Yeah. And what did you say you read about the beach? It's like the largest.
It's supposed to be one of the largest. They claim it's the largest man-made sand beach, which I didn't know if that is indeed a fact.
And forsythias, they are so pretty, Karki. They are so pretty. There was around here, there was a historic building, and they had a bunch of forsythias like on the outside that they've since replaced, but those are very pretty.
Welcome in. If you're just joining, we're Adventures by D. My name is Dave. This is my wife, Kris.
Yes.
We've been talking about Six Flags and covered that in the first hour. And now we're kind of going on to some of our more recent springtime vlogs. Happy Easter, I should say, coming up this weekend.
That's right.
Everybody's going to get a chance to enjoy some time off or relaxation.
We'll have to see if we make a bunny cake this year.
Oh,
I have been known to make one. So, and I know, Karki, your daughter has her birthday on Easter. So that has happened in our house, that we've had a birthday on Easter. So it's always kind of interesting. And look at this, like we're ending with this. There's a side of this building, a little downtown Pine. Oh,
I took it off the share.
Oh, okay. Oh, well. So
there's a nice mural at the end of the video in Pine Mountain that's not in the park that we, maybe Kris can bring it back up here.
It's okay. I'll bring something else up.
Okay.
Another video. I don't know if you guys are totally into flowers, but We went to Gibbs Gardens, which is like another garden in kind of the Atlanta area. And oh my gosh, they're known for their daffodils, amongst many other things. So let me share. I think it's funner to look at this stuff than our faces, right? So they had like, we were there, we'd been there one other time a few years ago. A bunch of people go and they have this like these meadows and hills where they just have daffodils galore on them. And we were there opening day. So it was like a Friday. So the daffodils were just blooming, but we wanted to get to it to kind of cover it to show people what's there.
It's in Ball Ground, right?
Yeah, it's in Ball Ground. So it's kind of like north of Atlanta.
Way north.
Yeah, and it's in the country. Look at that kitty cat, right? Just came on up to me. It was like, hi. Beautiful, beautiful. And we were there opening day, like, where did we go? 2 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. Took the afternoon off work and went. And there were so many people there. It was like, holy cow. It was the first weekend in March.
There you go, Rhonda. There's exactly where it is.
So just keep going north, and there it is. And it's what I coined a photographer's paradise, because there's just they have daffodils. They also have this like amazing Japanese garden, which is beautiful and serene. And they have a bunch of they'll have hydrangeas and other things that'll come out. But like right now, holy cow, to see all these daffodils, different varieties everywhere. And it was a family also that had the Gibbs family, and they had a house. You can kind of walk to their house. So it's kind of wild. And we were noticing suddenly there's like 1 million of these statues everywhere, just different statues all over the place.
So Jonathan, we'll get back to your question, but Rhonda, there is a Gibbs Landscaping. It's probably the same people, because we saw them when we left. They do have a landscaping business.
Yep, they do. It is. And I think they do commercial, and then they have another one for houses, residential. But this is heading towards their Japanese gardens that we're showing. Like, it's so pretty. And then that's going up to the daffodils. So, I mean, like, crazy that, folks do these types of gardens. And then this one I've always heard with photography. So. And
there's usually, they do let you do some shoots out there as long as you're not bringing a bunch of gear. Because last time we went out during the summer, there's usually some people shooting different things, I'm guessing for Instagram.
They say you're not supposed
pictures.
To do like, I think you can't go in their wedding dress and like get a photo shoot. You have to clear it. So they were like, you can take pictures, and then I was interpreting that to me, not like professional photo shoots, but like bringing our cameras. There were a bunch of people with, tripods taking pictures of flowers and that sort of stuff. But you can see here how it's starting to come up, that probably right now is like everywhere, like all over that field is daffodils. So really, really awesome. So let's see. Jonathan asked, is there a churro cart at Six Flags? I don't think so. Do you? They have Dippin' Dots. How about that? I don't. They have. So Six Flags has funnel cake. They have 2 places you can get funnel cakes, and they have Dippin' Dots, and that's really it for dessert.
They need a signature item.
They have a couple places, 2 burger places that's kind of like, one's DJ's something, and then they have the diner, the
JB's, I think, or
JL's. No. No, like the brand name diner.
Johnny Rockets.
Yeah, Johnny Rockets. So they have a Johnny Rockets. They have this diner, so you could probably get like a shake or something there, but they don't have a ton of dessert options. They might have some desserts like in their food areas. I mean, to be really honest, for years when we went to Six Flags, we just didn't eat there. We would get drinks and, go for the day and leave. And more recently, probably in the last year or 2, we've had some meals there and we've enjoyed it. So, and they're starting to branch out in what they're offering. I mean, if you want a burger or chicken fingers, they have it, right? But they're starting to get some other offerings too. So
Rhonda, we have been to I think you're talking about the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, more down at Piedmont Park. We have been to that for the Christmas thing. We haven't vlogged it yet. I'm sure we will. Maybe we'll get there in the spring still. I'm not sure, but we like the Botanical Gardens too. The ones in downtown Atlanta. Yeah,
we were thinking about doing a video there. We just haven't been able to time it yet to do it. And then when I was going to do it, it was sold out. So the weekends we were going to go, all the tickets were already sold because they have time ticketing. a lot of these places have it now. So, yeah, very pretty. Yeah. Six Flags claims there is one, but it never shows up. That's interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen churro anywhere there. But
they should have it. We've talked about they should have like a signature dessert item, and they don't have like what they talk about is their funnel cake. So when we went at Christmas, we actually got their, and I asked, what do you have a funnel cake like special for Christmas? And I think they gave us one that had s'mores on it or something, right? Some marshmallows or something like that. It was okay. Yeah. The longest line when you first come into Six Flags Over Georgia, the park, like in the left, there is this funnel cake thing right when you're walking in the park, and it's kind of crazy busy, that line. And so we've never waited in it. And there's also one towards the like left side back of the park. There's another one. And then conversely, we finally got a funnel cake, and then we go into the confectionery, and it's like, wow, that was probably the best thing we ate was the stuff in their, it's not called their confectionery, but in the right when you enter, it was really good. I was so surprised.
Okay, Rhonda, we'll let you know. I'll probably send you an Instagram DM or something when we go. I'm not sure when that's going to be, but we will let you know. Yeah, so if you all enjoy the gardens videos, please let us know and give those videos some love. If you have a chance to, that would be great. Either give it a thumbs up or go in there and comment.
Yeah, like Gibbs Gardens, I really wanted to do it, and it took off after a little while. It took a while to get some views, and then some people have been watching it because we're trying to figure out. I mean, we're going to video what we enjoy, but do people want to see this or not, right? So we thought, we'll take a shot at a few of these things we like to do and put it on video. And Rhonda, it's funny you mentioned the City Pass. So I've looked at that so many times. We're actually thinking about doing something about that over the summer where you get, so, major cities have their City Pass where you get certain attractions for a certain number of days, and you can get into them, and you can get in the Georgia Aquarium, and you can get in the zoo, and you can get in the History Center. And I think Coca-Cola's on it. Like I've looked because we have a season pass to Zoo Atlanta. And then we've been to the aquarium twice last year. I almost bought a seat. We've had passes before, but the aquarium is a little bit expensive. So you have to go 3 or 4 times in a year to kind of make your money on that one for a family. But so it looks like they have some awesome things on it. So we're thinking about, do we try that? Because we've done all of those things, but just never like, what can you get done on the City Pass sort of thing. I think people would like that to kind of see if you're coming into a city, because we look at those things when we go to New York or Chicago or that sort of stuff. We bought, I think, a City Pass when we went to Chicago. So,
bye, Jonathan. Thanks for stopping by. Really
bye,
appreciate it.
Or you need to know someone that works at the aquarium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Our son Dean is a huge fan of marine biology and zoology, so we'll see. One day he may end up working at one of those places, but we go a lot to zoos and aquariums, and anywhere we go we'll probably stop, so we tend to do some videos on those things too. So
Rhonda left a note. I agree with you, Rhonda. It's like we often have debate whether we should shoot something or not shoot something, and yeah, we just do stuff we like, and hopefully other people like it. But I agree with that. Some of the things that I didn't think people would like are some of our most popular videos. And sometimes vice versa.
And then you're like, this is going to be so good. And then, it doesn't get as much love. But that's okay, because we're doing it because we like it. Yeah, this is part of the Japanese gardens at Gibbs Gardens that we're showing here. I mean, it is so pretty. Crazy pretty.
We absolutely do our thing. And appreciate everybody joining. If you just joined, we're Adventures by Dave, my wife Kris, family-friendly vloggers here in the Atlanta area.
Hit that like button.
That's right. Hit that like button. There you go.
Said that.
Like it, and comment. Yeah.
I am wearing a Looney Tunes for Six Flags shirt. And
I have my brand new merch shirt on too from Six Flags, Justice Leagues. And Madison pointed out there's no women on the shirt. She
did say that, didn't she?
I didn't make the shirt. I don't know where Wonder Woman is, why Wonder Woman's not on here, but
or Catwoman, or Supergirl or right?
Yes, thank you, Rhonda. Ring that bell for notifications. So we had a live stream from Dollywood. You can catch it on our channel. That was an impromptu live stream, and Madison and I were there. We had good cell signal. And
it worked really well.
Hopefully you enjoyed that. We had a nice appearance from Miss Lillian, the crazy chicken lady. So you never know when we're going to go live with some of our adventures.
We might be going live this weekend. We'll see.
Yeah,
at a special location.
One never knows.
We'll have to see if it's going to work cell signal wise. Yeah. What else?
Rhonda asked if we're travel agents.
We are not travel agents.
No.
We are corporate people. This is how we have fun. We put our work skills to use personally. We are not travel agents.
Yeah, YouTube's on delay. Yeah, we don't do this full time. I mean, we do it a lot in our spare time, but we both have full-time corporate jobs. So
yes,
but we enjoy YouTube. Else we still will be doing it. One thing,
kidding me? This would be awesome to do
full
time. I will say, when you see the people that do it full time, it is so much work. I have so much respect for them. I know it looks so easy, and it's not at all. So some videos take us days to edit to try to figure out the story we want to tell based on the footage. And sometimes we go in with a goal of what we shot, and it's not really what it's going to turn into. So you kind of have to go with the flow. So I am so impressed with all these folks that can do sorts of things. And then, you have people with millions and millions and millions of followers and how they pump the stuff out. I mean, it's amazing. And it looks so easy, and it's not, so it's a lot of fun though.
Yeah, we do have a lot of fun on it. We're looking forward for the summer to travel some more, to get some different parks, which we're really looking forward to. I know a lot of folks are getting vaccinated, if that's their choice.
Right.
So we're looking forward to be able to, I think like everybody is, and get out of lockdown basically. Although Georgia's not in lockdown like some other states, from my understanding. And we did have our parks open last year, and they're open this year. So there are some things we could do, but obviously looking forward to just a better ability to travel outside of the state here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, and seeing some family. So definitely looking forward to that.
Thank you, Karki. You're an awesome moderator. Appreciate you doing everything tonight and putting up the links.
The good news is there wasn't much to moderate tonight, I guess, right? Like our last stream. So
hey, we did get the comments turned on this time.
Yes, we did. You got to learn. And we go live every other Thursday right now. That's kind of what we're doing. And in the future, we might do more. And then we're choosing different topics to talk about. So normally around theme parks or our travels or things we think people might enjoy learning about that we've experienced, and kind of giving our spin on things.
So we have had guests on. You can go back and look at the older live streams. We had Monarch Moments.
Yes,
our colleagues. They are a great channel. Go check them out. Karki, if you get a chance, you can put their link in here. They were on about a month ago, and Hannah and Michelle, great channel. They're almost 1,000K, so make sure to subscribe to them if you haven't. They do a lot of great things. They're a lifestyle channel, so they do Disney and some other things too. They have some great guests. They just had a chef on.
They have some great interviews. Dave's watching, and he's like asking about frying turkeys, and the guy was answering all sorts of things. So yeah, learned a lot. They're very fun.
And then we had our friends on from Vacationeers, Theme Parks, and More, Tom and Joanna.
Yes.
So you want to plug them, Kris?
They have a podcast, Vacationeers, Theme Parks, and More. And their home park is Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And that's how I found them. I was just searching it out. And they cover vacations in general and kind of some lifestyle stuff, but kind of with planning of vacations and the cost that goes into things and things they do. And they also have a YouTube channel also. So they're putting a lot of videos out too. So we've been on their podcast several times in the last year and been on a couple of their YouTube. And we're hoping to also meet them in person this year, hopefully. At some point, depending on schedules. So we're trying. So I could actually meet them. I've listened to them for years now. So
I'm working on a special Disney collab with Tom from Vacationers Theme Parks and more I'm really excited about. It's going to take a little planning, putting together some footage, but I think it's going to be worth it. Series of videos, so stay tuned for that coming up probably in the summerish time frame.
Now, we did get a question if we've done Cloudland yet, and I actually don't know what that is. Do you?
It's a state park. Yeah.
Oh, here in Georgia?
We have not done it. Is that where the little Grand Canyon is, Rhonda? That may be two different parks. I think that's the same park, but Rhonda could set me straight in the chat here. We have not done that park though.
Rhonda, have you ever done the Vidalia Onion Festival? I'm curious. So if you guys don't know, if you might be aware of Vidalia onions, these sweet onions can only be called Vidalia onions if they are only grown in Vidalia, Georgia. A very, very small area in Georgia is the monopoly of sweet onions, and you can only get them at certain times of the year, and they can only be called Vidalia if they're from this area, and they have a festival. So we're looking at that festival. It's in later April, trying to figure out, they have like 4 or 5 days of things going on down there. It's pretty wild, and I was reading about it. So we did do was it in Rome? Where did we do the Apple Festival? Where did we go?
I think it was Ellijay.
Ellijay. So there's also, you wouldn't think it.
Ellijay, Georgia, northern Georgia.
Yeah, like you wouldn't think in Georgia, apple picking. I'm sure Carkey being in Michigan, you're like, what's that? But they figured out a way to graft from crab apple trees, put apples on them, and then there's a ton of apple picking. And we have a few videos from Mercier Orchards, which is one of the big apple producing. You can buy them in the store, and they make cider for a bunch of people and that sort of stuff. But we've done picking there and all sorts of types of picking. But we did the Apple Festival there one time, and it wasn't like in Ellijay, and Dave and I went. Were we newly married? Pre-kids.
And
it was just
what that was
like I guess I'm trying to say the festival was just okay. You know, it was like there were some carnival rides and like booths where you could buy food, and I thought there'd be more going on than that. They bust you in, and we kind of went. We're like, oh, I think I would have rather go apple picking. So I'm afraid the Vidalia one would be similar, but I think there's bands and stuff that play at that one, and so I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the 3 or 4 hour drive to get there for it. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm curious if people would want to see the Vidalia Onion Festival. Is it worth it for us to go to check it? Is it just me that wants to see what the heck that thing is, or would other people want to see that? That's the question.
We do go to Chattanooga a lot too, so you should check out our Tennessee Adventure playlist, because Dean and I have gone to that Tennessee Aquarium in Madison. We've gone a bunch, more so when our kids were smaller.
We used to have annual passes, season passes to the Tennessee Aquarium. We liked it even better than the Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta. Like, that thing is amazing.
We've done a lot of stuff in Chattanooga. We haven't had a chance to vlog since we started our YouTube channel. So we've done Rock City. We used to spend the weekend there sometimes. Yeah. It's so cute. So you'll get to see more vlogs from Chattanooga. I am absolutely 100% positive in the future. And recently, Rhonda, I'm seeing you put Ruby Falls up, which is in Chattanooga. And I saw after one of their big rains, because I follow them on social media, it was like they had gone scouting in Ruby Falls. You go down in an elevator, and you're in like a cave system, more or less. And you walk for 30, 45 minutes. And you get to an area where it's called Ruby Falls, a waterfall, and it's dark, and they turn lights on and they play music, and they're like, you have 3 minutes, go look at the fall, walk around and get out. And then you got to hike all the way back. It's kind of funny. But she's saying Anna Ruby Falls too. Oh, is that different? Anna Ruby. Yeah, I'm not sure. Towards Helen. Oh. She said Anna Ruby Falls. Yeah. Okay. We thought you meant Ruby Falls in Chattanooga. Okay, we'll have to check that out. I like Helen. Helen's pretty cool. Helen's cute. And then there's different places when you're driving towards Asheville where there's a bunch of waterfalls and places too. Explain Helen for those not near Georgia. Well, it's like a German town. So, like Carol, like Frankenmuth, Michigan. Ooh, very nice. Yes, very much like Frankenmuth. And I can say that I grew up in Florida and saw for a million years the billboard for Bronner's in Frankenmuth, and my cousin got married at Michigan State, right? And my parents went and Dave went, and we drove on a trip to go to Frankenmuth just to go in the Bronner's Christmas store there
That was years ago. I had to go there because there's a billboard in Florida for it, which Karki, you've probably seen it. So the billboard, but and then finally saw it in person. So it's a small German town, Helen. And we've gone rafting there. There's the Chattahoochee River, and you can get these inner tubes, and they'll drop you in an area, and you'll get on the raft and go down. We got savvy enough. We bought our own boat oars because you can get stuck sometimes in the rocks, so you can like knock yourself off. Because if you get out of your inner tube, you can have a hard time getting back in. So, or if you get stuck, you don't want to. Oh, Frankenmuth for one of your first dates. And I remember we ate at one of the restaurants there too.
Wiener Schnitzel, one of the German
Schnitzel.
places there.
Yeah. Yeah, but Helen, Helen's, it's similar but different, but the same idea, Germantown, lots of little, kitschy shops and eateries and all sorts of stuff. So I can't wait to go back. I'm sure we'll go back soon. We had stayed away recently because we weren't sure about the mask requirements in the area. So we hadn't gone, probably haven't been in a couple of years, but we were thinking about going this year, but we held off. So last year, so we'll probably go soon. Yeah, super cute. And Lookout Mountain is cool. Yes, you can see, is it 6 states?
7 states.
7 states. I should know that.
Come on
From the
now.
one location. And when you look out from Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga, I can't tell the difference between the states. You'd think there'd be lions. The vegetation would be different. We're just carrying on. And I don't know if we should say we made the mistake, but we did go to Lookout Mountain one time at Christmas or New Year's.
New Year's Eve.
It was so cold there. Oh my God. Outside, they have it lit, but it was so cold. And in the dark, Karki, that bridge you can walk across at Lookout Mountain over, it was shut. Like, I guess they don't want you to go in the dark or in the cold or what. Holy cow. We've seen it advertised for Christmas. I'm like, man, I'd have to go early in the season. It was so cold when we went.
Do you want to let's mention we talked about everything but Disney. We got a few minutes left here. Let's talk about our recent Disney moderate hotel video, because I think that one's pretty helpful, I hope.
Yes. That was a while in the making.
That was a while in the making.
Dave's like, are you done with that yet? My God. How long is it taking you to edit that?
Promised on the very first live stream months ago in a couple of days. It did finally hatch recently.
It did. So we did a video. So I don't know. Have you guys watched, we watch a ton of vloggers. You guys probably do too, and different channels and all that stuff. And everybody seems to be staying based on somebody either providing the hotel for free or they're being given points, right, to like stay at these locations, and they're not actually telling you how much they cost. They're not telling you what's gone into it. It's just like, thanks for hosting me, or I got these points. And we're kind of like, well, that's not realistic for families. Like, what is this really costing people? And so we thought, well, let's do a video and just explain what we consider and what we look into and how we price things. And I did a lot of recordings of some of the sites. I didn't put it all in the video of like costs of different things and our top things that we look for in a hotel. And I know, Karki, you put some comments because like your considerations are a little different from ours with the size of your family and cost and that sort of stuff. And so we talk through that in the video, and hopefully it's helpful. And I tried to add it with footage from us over the years going to some of these places, because if you figure like if we can, we love to go to the Orlando area once a year. I mean, honestly. And sometimes we've flown, sometimes we drive, sometimes we've gone twice in a year. And so we did just this one was just Disney focused. And then at a future point, we're going to do Universal. Our problem with doing a Universal video is we don't actually have a lot of footage of the hotels we've stayed in, which is kind of funny. And the same thing happened with this one. We've done things, but when you actually physically filming the hotel, we haven't necessarily. And I realized, gosh, so I have like bits and pieces of.
Wait, who are those little babies?
Oh, I know. These guys, look how young they are here. And Maddie's learning how to use the camera. She's so good with the camera.
Didn't take her long.
No, she wanted to take pictures, and she did from that point on. That's for sure. And somehow on the back, I have video. She somehow figured out in that point and shoot Canon, she was doing video with that thing. And there's a video of us like biking, and she was filming it. So it's pretty funny. And if there's an animal at Disney, I'm sure your guys' families are like this. They're like going to hunt those animals out, like the cats or whatever. Dean was like next day walking in the bushes trying to find the cats we'd seen at the Swan. So so we just did this video on, our honest take of the places that we've stayed, and we've highlighted the places we liked. Ultimately, that's what's in the video. We didn't cover some of the places that were, so we more put the things where we've stayed. Look, there's Dave with facial hair. He grows it for the winter and then comes out in the summer. That's not really video worthy. I don't think anybody wants to. But
I try to be in the frame as little as possible. I'm not quite as visible as Garrett is, but I am in some of the video.
Yeah. And we had a good time with this, just kind of talking through what do you consider with a hotel and what the costs are. And I know, I'm sure you guys are like us. I mean, there's so much that goes into these trips. You have the tickets. First of all, I didn't even add, there's the travel to get to the place. So like car key for you, I mean, that's substantial. Are you driving and it's a couple days? Are you going to fly and put that cost up? And then when you get there, are you going to rent a car? Or so you have all that like cost going there. And then you have all the food, which for us adds up really fast. And you have the tickets for the place. And then there's the lodging. And what I constantly hear when people talk about Disney hotels is, oh, well, it's just a place to lay my head. And I think I say this in the video, but I'm like, my God, you're paying the cheapest hotels $150 a night with some of the all-stars right now. And it goes up. I mean, sometimes it can be below 100, but most times. And a lot of these things, these moderates are between $200 and $300 a night. I mean, you're talking about a house payment for what, 3 nights, 4 nights. So with taxes and everything, I mean, it's so substantial what you're paying that, what are you getting for that? Just kind of thinking about it. So it's, it's a lot to think about. And then we kind of I show you some of the places that we've stayed over time. And when we look, what do we always do? I always price Disney hotels, and then Marriott and Hilton are kind of the 3 things. And then this last time we actually stayed at like an Airbnb type thing, a townhome, which actually was pretty cool. We hadn't done that before. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there are real bargains if you want to stay off property. We don't have enough time to go into on versus off property, but we do in this video. So check out this video. If you want to see more of them, please leave us a note in the comments.
Wow, Rhonda, that's really good. $66 a night.
Yeah.
Holy cow. We've looked at, we have not stayed yet. I know there's a couple Hiltons that are really close to SeaWorld that supposedly you can almost walk into SeaWorld. At some point we'll do, I think it might be a Hampton Inn or something that we've looked at over there. That's obviously probably different from the one you're talking about. And then we've stayed on site on some of the Universal hotels too, which there's totally, to me, if you're going to Universal and you want to stay kind of on site, there's totally different considerations, because some of their hotels, if you stay in what would be considered their deluxe hotels, you get express pass as a part of your ticket, like included, and you can go on any ride as many times as you want. And if you went into Universal and bought that, it's like $100 a person for their express. So, and their deluxe at Universal's properties are cheaper than what would Disney's deluxe. They're kind of priced a little bit more than a moderate, but you get value for that, because you get to ride a lot of the rides. You can get, for what you would stay on a Disney monorail resort, you can get a huge room at any Universal hotel. So, it's give and take there. And obviously you've got multiple parks at Disney versus, Universal's getting there with 3 parks if you count Volcano Bay. But the Express Pass, to me, is a huge value that you get with the Universal hotel rooms that you don't get with Disney. So check out this video and give it some love here. Leave a comment, give it a thumbs up. It's a compilation of all the
different hotels that we've stayed at. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know, you got to choose
Everyone's
what's right
personal.
for your family, and everything's, you know, everything's different for families about Disney hotels, but we try to give a good cross section in this video.
How about this? We paid for every place we stayed at that we talk about in it. How about that? Yeah. That's what I can say. It is honest. And then Carol, I see you commenting some here.
That's why I think Universal to me is a lot like Disneyland. It's very easy to walk everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, now if you're going from Volcano Bay to like Portofino Bay, that's a pretty long walk. But for the most part, Universal, both parks are right there. City Walk's right there. It's compared to Disney, very easy to get around.
And then I know Rhonda's been, and then Rhonda talking about being a travel agent and having access to search and I'm sure stay and also help your clients because you stay. I mean, I would think as part of being a travel agent, you got to stay at a lot of places to be able to recommend them. You know, I listen to enough podcasts to know most of the travel agents go. I mean, they go to Disney and Universal a lot because they're selling it. They got to know it. You know, they have to speak to it. So,
yeah, we try to give a good balanced look and let people make their own decisions. You know, it's very personal how much money you're going to spend and where you want to stay. That's everybody's, and the size of your needs, basically, whether it's 4 people or 8 people or 2 people. You know, Kris and I have been without the kids. Maybe that's a different vlog. We've been down for one of my big birthdays, which is pretty much her big birthday too, thereabouts. And we've gone a couple times without the kids and love my kids, but it's also fun down there without the kids when it's just 2 of you, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for us is the queen beds for the 4 of us because, like, if it's his double, we're out. I mean, Dean he's taller than you, and Mass is taller than me. I mean, we're all really tall and big, and it's a nightmare in anything. I mean, at this point, we almost wish we could afford doing 2 rooms. like that would be ideal if we could put us in 2 rooms and like the kids have their own bed. So, but you know, you make your budget work however it works.
All right, let's tee up the Sky Buckets. So before I tee up the Sky Buckets, that's how we're going to end. We're going to take you on a ride on the Sky Bucket ride at Six Flags, which has been closed the last 2 years, and I'm pretty sure it's not coming back. So we had a kind of an unofficial POV when we rode on opening day a couple years ago. But thanks for joining. We're going to take you on the ride here, so stay tuned for that. Make sure and subscribe to our channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't. If you enjoyed this content, give us a thumbs up on this video if you liked it. Make sure and comment in the video. Leave a comment on this live stream if you'd like to see something different or like us to go to a different park. We'll try to make it happen this summer or after that. And more Six Flags content coming. I mean, yes. You and Madison are going in just a couple of days here, so a lot more Six Flags content coming. We're fortunate to have a theme park in Atlanta, and so always happy to go there. It's always a fun time. Make sure if you're watching on the replay, thank you for watching, and consider liking and subscribing if you're not already. Appreciate you joining on the replay. I know I sometimes get on replays when I can't join, more than one stream going on at one time. I go back and catch the replay. So if you're looking at the replay, thank you for watching, and make sure and like and comment if you wish on the live stream here. The next couple live streams are going to be a special one in 2 weeks to be determined. Stay tuned for that. And then the end of the month, Star Wars night, which is going to be a big blowout. I can't wait. And lots of surprises there. Looking forward to that one.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
You're good. Thank you guys for chatting. Thank you, Karki and DWG Adventures and Francisco and
Jonathan Arthur Harris.
Arthur.
Thank you for joining. Thank you, Karki. Thank you, Rhonda. Rhonda, I'm looking to be riding along with you on your next stream wherever we're going.
Dave's always joining. One time I joined in and Dave had already been in there. So most times it's Dave. Sometime in Monarch Moments, it's me. Like last night towards the end, I think Dave was in the beginning of their stream and then I was in at the end. And they're always like, hi, Dave or Kris. It's really funny. So most of the times it's Dave, probably, depending on what's going on. So he does enjoy joining you guys.
All right, let's get a good bird's eye view one last time of the sky buckets. I don't believe they're coming back. So enjoy this. And I'm going to share the audio and be quiet and let us enjoy the ride. It's a couple minutes. And once it's over, we'll end the stream. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Enjoyed
Thank you.
We'll see you again in a
Thanks.
couple weeks. Stay tuned for a special vlog coming up next week. I can't wait to talk about it.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. And then you have to...
We should say, may the adventures be with you.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and
Ringing a bell.
so you'll be notified of our next upload. And as always, may the adventures be with you.